Welcome back to Nick Lenz's novel review. This is Doubleshot number 8, and now I'm going to just pretty much finish up this storyline. Okay, first up, the third and last book for the trilogy of Code Equations, The Bite Electric, still written by David Mack. This takes place 4 months after the events of the second book of the series, and Wesley Crusher shows up in here. And apparently he's got a full beard. Oh, and I should also mention the reason why Wesley Crusher shows up in here, and now he's basically with the person known as the Traveler, who appeared a few times over the course of Next Generation versus Nobody Goes Before, Remember Me, and Journey's End. What Journey's End was actually Wesley Crusher's last appearance in the show. And he decided to leave Starfleet and go with the Traveler, and apparently during that period of time grew a beard. Simply put, he's here to stop a machine. Which apparently, I think it's a planet-sized machine basically destroying planets, and of course there's another plot dealing with... it's also mentioned that Data was cleared charges. And despite the fact of the conference, the Gorn interpreter is so interested in the dialogue, continuing it. So, as a happy note. The Kelsey Grammer character is never seen again in the series. I'm not sure exactly when he's going to reappear, but he is going to. But, yeah, so the Enterprise lists to take on this machine, while Data is confronting an immortal known as, I think his name is Flint. He's also has a few names like Da Vinci and a few others. Simply put, and also he also is the father of Data's girlfriend, who apparently was human, but was an android posing as a human. Yeah, Data fell in love with her when she was on the Enterprise E. This happened during the novel, so it never happened on screen. And he wanted to see her and free her, and he also wanted the key to restoring his... he already had restored, at this point, his mother's alive. Her project ring has been restored, and... The next thing he wanted to do was restore his late daughter, which he does at the end of this book, by the way. And this is a really good book. A lot of action, excitement, taking this planet-sized machine. They do defeat the machine, and of course the guy is eventually stopped. Overall, this was a great book. I don't want to spoil too much of this book, because this book is really, really good. Dave Mack does a great job writing these characters. Like I said, great book. Highly recommend it. I'm not going too much detail like I did in the last episode, but I don't want to spoil too much of this thing. But also, I forgot to mention that Picard saved Beverly Crusher from being killed by the assassin, which she called him out on, and she also talked what happened in Star Trek Undiscovered Country, where Kirk tackled the president to save his life, and he explained why he called me like, really? Now, he explained the reason why he did it, because the president and the interpreter can easily be replaced. Beverly Crusher can't. Beverly, as Renee's mother, cannot be replaced. That's the reason why he decided to save her, tackle her, instead of basically tackling the president. That's the only reason why he was worried for Renee's sake. That simply happened last book. This simply just wraps up all the loose ends related to the storyline. Most loose ends. There is a follow-up book that I'll get to in a minute. But I do recommend reading this trilogy. Start with book 1, then go to book 2, and then go to book 3. Do not read these books out of order. You will get lost. But, like I said, great trilogy. The trilogy itself, I give a 9.5 out of 10. Simply put, for bringing back Data, a character who had been dead since Nemesis. Basically, this kind of undoes that in a way. But in Nemesis, Data basically downloaded his entire memory bank into B4 prior to his death. So, simply put, it kind of laid the seeds of his possible resurrection later on. But because of the J.J. Abrams reboot, that couldn't happen on screen, so it was solved with novels. Simply put, great book, great trilogy, highly recommend it. Oh, Law comes back. Now, this book is known as The Light Fantastic, and this is written by Jeffrey Long. This book is a follow-up to the Code Equations. It's a standalone novel featuring Data and Geordi taking on Professor Moriarty from the series. He's only here for 2 episodes. For what I've heard, it was legal disputes with Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's estate over using the Sherlock Holmes character, the stuff from Sherlock Holmes. So, and it's revealed that the little cube that it was kept in the Ship Bottle episode, which it was Moriarty's second to last appearance in the show, played by a guy who would be who's known for being on The Nanny, played the butler. Yep, he played the butler, who fell in love with his boss's ex-fiancée. I think they got married after the series. I don't know, but simply put, this is basically what Data happened after he left the Enterprise. This book picks up right where the Code Equations left off, despite the fact this came out a few months after Code Equations ended, even though it's written by a different person. But Jeffrey Long does a great job continuing Data's story right after Code Equations. Moriarty comes back, and apparently during the intermediate time between Season 6 of Next Generation and this book, apparently he and the Countess, in their holographic illusion, they had 2 daughters. And of course they hired a maid. And here's something interesting though. The maid... Now, here's something interesting though. This book has connections to 2 episodes. 2! It's a follow-up to Ship Bottle from Star Trek Next Generation Season 6. And this is what really excited me. It's a follow-up to I, Mud, an episode from Season 2 of the original series. It basically revealed what happened in a flashback, revealed that Nanny was actually one of the androids from the episode. Simply put, what happened after the original crew left. Apparently, Mud had put on weight and his clothes were getting skin tight, so he and the single android escaped from this planet run by androids. They got out and they went out to do whatever they want. Of course, she abandoned him, and apparently Mud himself was still alive at this point, over 100 years old, and basically looked like he's falling apart. Yeah. And apparently Data basically went there. Data and Jordan went there because of a security of a storage facility that he had, and it turns out that actually it wasn't the maid for Moriarty. Was the nanny for Lal. And of course, Data, after mentioned the Code Equation trilogy, simply took up his father's alias as the owner of this casino on Orion, and for a little while, he and Lal basically lived there, and then they decided to move to like the suburbs, and happily seclusion with a nanny, and then Lal gets kidnapped, and they get kidnapped by Moriarty. Apparently went to this white room. It's never explained exactly where Moriarty got this stuff from anyways. The book kind of ends with basically Moriarty, the Countess, who was his wife, and his 2 daughters, their minds being transferred to the mind of androids, which Data built for them, which, okay, that's a kind of a happy ending for them. Simply put, you can kind of see this book is not only wrapping up the Code Equations trilogy, but also wrapping up a couple loose ends from the Star Trek franchise, basically continuing from I, Mud from Season 2 of the original series, and of course, following up with, of course, Ship in the Bottle. It was nice to see Mud again. I think this is his 2nd or 3rd appearance in the Star Trek novels. This is by far the only time he's ever actually appeared in Next Generation novels. Of course, this book came out 2 years ago. Came out 2 years ago, but still a great novel to read. I highly recommend it. I give this book a 9 out of 10. It's a great book to read, and like I said, I don't want to spoil it too much. It is a great book. So, find it if you can. You can probably find it at Barnes & Noble Books a Million. You can probably find it there along with the Code Equations trilogy. Because the book is only 2 years old, I'm sure they're still selling it. So, either that or you can order it from Amazon or eBay. But the cover itself is very... I should point this out. It's a beautifully done cover. It kind of reminds me of some of the older Next Generation, which I have read. Some of them anyways. I haven't read all. It kind of reminds me of the either the Q books or the Quantum Helix books. I'm not really sure, but the cover is very similar to that. But yeah, 9 out of 10. Great. Alright, that's it for this episode. Stay tuned for episode 23. I haven't decided if it's going to be a double shot or whatever yet. Okay? But, till then, I will see you there. Bye. Come on, stupid mouse.